Hi everyone, my name's Anne Marie. Welcome to this card making project. In this project I'm going to be using one of the new mini tri-fold embossing folders from Anna Griffin. The one I'm going to be using is the Harlequin Tri-fold. Everything I do use I'll put in the description box below, so please be sure to click the word show more to see all the details and to get the links of where you can get more information about the products. So when you get your folders, they actually look like three sections, but it is all one. And it measures just short of 6 inches by just short of 12 inches. So you'll need your extended mats to use on your machines. I've got a big shot machine and I took it through on plate B with the plastic plate on top, not the embossing mat. So I also, when I cut the card to go through, I cut it 5.8 inches by 12, from the size of the scrapbooking sheet. And I found that was better than cutting it at 6 inches, because then you'd still have to trim the edges. So 5.8 will get you a nice finish. So once you've run it through your machine, this is what you get. Now I'm hoping my camera will pick up the texture. Now I've sanded the one section of it just because that's how I want mine to be finished. I haven't folded it yet. That's the natural fold that you get when you take it out of the folder. It's the same on both sides. One side's embossed, one side's debossed. And I've actually used this with a Bazzil cardstock because I could have quite easily have used some of my great Anna Griffin metallic card, but not everybody has that. So I just wanted to show you that it works on other cardstock as well. So I've sanded one section of it to be able to reveal just some of the white core that's in the actual cardstock that I've used. So once you've taken it through your machine, what you'll do is then you'll fold it following the score lines. You'll find that it will go together quite easily, and it doesn't matter which way you fold it. So you could go that way, or you could go that way for something a bit different. I personally am going to go this way because I just feel happier for me doing this way. And what I'm now going to do is, even though they've got the score lines, I'm going to use my bone folder just to make sure we've got a good sharp score down the side. And I'm going to do it at both sides. It's not going to affect the actual embossing because you're not doing it hard enough to squash it. So now I've got my folded card and I'm all ready to decorate it. I previously just said that I've sanded the front of it already because I just wanted to see a little bit more detail, and my cardstock had a white core, so I thought that will just lift it a little bit. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in just slightly so you can see what I'm doing. The first thing I'm going to do is I've already cut some strips of scrap, basically. They're from the Rose collection, and I've taken one strip and I'm going to use my tape runner and just add a little bit of tape on the back, and I'm going to position it through the centre of the card. The next thing I've got is I've already cut some lattice work from one of the sheets from the Rose collection from Anna, and I've cut out the pink sections, leaving myself the lattice. And I'm going to just add a tiny little bit of glue on the back behind some of the lattice, so you can't actually see where the glue's going to go. So I'm not going to add a great deal because there's other things going on the front as well. So that should be enough just to keep it in place so it doesn't move. I'd previously cut it to the right size for the inner square on the actual front of the card. So that's my lattice. The next thing I've got is a piece of the card again that we've used for the actual base, and I've cut it to the right length, and I've added a piece of gold ribbon on the back of it, and I've already added the double-sided tape on the back. And when I say I've added the ribbon on the back of it, I've added the ribbon on the front and the tape on the back. And I'm just going to position that through the centre of our card on top of the lattice, like that. So you're building your layers on the front of the card. The next thing I've got is one of the tags from the actual rose kit, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back and position it to the base of the card. And then I've also stamped one of the stamps from the chalkboard collection from Anna, and I've used a black stays on ink for this, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back of that and just pop the tag on top of the tag that we've got from the embellishment kit from the rose. And then I've got two 3D flowers. Now these were actually taken from the Floral Impressions Kit, but Anna has a lot of flowers available and I'm sure any would work just as well. I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the back and I'm just going to position them on the front of the card, and I'm using glue so that I can tweak the position because I don't quite know how they're going to look and if I'm going to get them in the right place. Now the last thing that I've got to finish off the front of the card is a little gold bow in the same matching ribbon that we've used to run through the actual back panel, and I've made it into a wonky bow rather than a straightforward bow, and I'm just going to pop it on the top of the tag. So that's the front of our card finished, and now I'm going to decorate the actual back of the card. Now I'm happy to leave these two sections plain only because obviously we're recording it and I haven't got time to go through all of them. So if you want to actually decorate all of it, then you know there's no reason why you shouldn't. So I'm going to decorate it very similar to the front, and I'm going to start off with a piece of the pink rose paper like we had running through the front. I'll put it on that way so I can trim it if it's too long. And I'm going to pop that through the centre like that. And then I've got a piece of the mesh, again the lattice that I've cut, and I'm just going to add, like we did for the front, it's exactly the same process, just add a little bit of glue so that it'll position itself, and pop that through the centre. Next, I've already got another strip of the card with the ribbon through the middle, and I've got double-sided tape on the back of this, so I can peel off the tape and we can place this through the centre of the card like we did just for the front, and pop that like that. And then this section for you to be able to write on, I've actually die cut from one of the ornate frames. I've used the inside one of the dies to cut the plain ivory, and then I've just added two ribbon tails to the back of it. I've got double-sided tape ready to go on the back of the actual inside, and I'm going to just use my pokey tool to be able to lift the tape so that we can stick it on. If you ever have trouble with tape, if you've got something like a pokey tool or a hole punch tool, like a bradawl, something like that, you can always use that to lift the edge of your tape if you've got no fingernails or you've got too long of fingernails, anything like that. There we go. And then that will sit nicely over the centre of our ribbon and lattice for you to be able to write your message in. And that is actually the finished card. because we're not going to decorate the inside, but you've got your panel to be able to write on. It still stands up and it will still go in an envelope, and it is so pretty and so unusual. And obviously you can fold it in whatever way you want to fold it, so that would be a nice way, using it that. Or you can also go the other way like we've said. So there's very versatile and easy to use, and I'm sure you'll have lots of fun decorating them with all your embellishments. Ideal for your scraps and ideal for any 3D flowers, anything that you've got like that. So just have fun with them and enjoy using them. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. If you've got anything to say, please feel free to comment. You can always find me on Facebook. I love hearing from you. And I'd just like to thank you again for watching, and I'll see you again next time.